Hello and welcome to part 6 of the Absolute Beginner's Guide to American Mah Jongg. Tonight we're going to look at a couple of hands in the 2025 card. If you enjoy the video, please press the thumbs up. Feel free to comment with questions. I love interacting with you and finding out what your questions are. Each year in April, the National Mah Jongg League releases the new card for that year. I highly recommend that you get the card from the league. Do not go on Amazon or eBay. Go right to the league and get your official card. Both the standard size card and the large size card have misprints on them, and the league is going to be sending out new cards very shortly. You know from my past videos, I cannot open the card and show it to you, but I have picked a couple of kind of challenging hands that I wanted to review in this video. Okay, the first category is 2025. We're going to start with the first hand on the card, and you can see that you'll need a Kong of flowers, followed by the year 2025 in one suit, and then a Pung of twos in a second suit and a Pung of twos in the third suit. According to the card, you could also use fives instead of twos. Okay, we're going to start with the first one. We need a Kong of flowers, the year 2025, a Pung of twos in opposite suits. Here is one way to do it. There's multiple ways of doing it. Here are your 4 flowers, 2025 in cracks, which means the pungs of twos have to be dots and bams. That's 3 suits. Be sure and read what it says after the hand in the parentheses, because you have to match that as well. Here's another way of doing this exact same hand. Again, we have the 4 flowers. We have 2025 in dots this time. That means the pungs have to be bams and cracks. Not only do the pungs have to not match opposite suits, but they also cannot match the dots that I use to make up 2025 because it says any 3 suits. The flowers aren't considered a suit. Okay, here's yet another way of doing it. This time we're using jokers, and I'm showing you where you can use jokers. I've got the 2025 in dots, and then I have bams and cracks. I've added a joker. The big issue here is you cannot use ever a joker in 2025. Those are considered singles. Okay, this is how to do the hand with 5s instead of 2s. You still have a Kong of flowers at the front, 2025. I've done it in bams. And then I have a Pung of 5 cracks and a Pung of 5 dots. That is 3 suits. Okay, here's another hand in the 2025 section that gave us quite a, a tizzy when we played last time. So what we're looking for is 2025, 2 pungs in a matching suit, and 4 dragons that do not match, because we're looking for 3 suits. I did 2025 in dots. I did the 2 pungs in bams, which meant the dragons, which don't match, had to be red. I want to apologize while I have a second. I'm actually holding the camera with my broken hand, so I'm being very careful of it and using my non-dominant left hand to point things out to you. Here's another way to do this. 2025 in cracks. The 2s and the 5s are in dots. That leaves me with the opposite dragon of green. These are green dragons. Greens don't go with cracks or dots. Okay, other than overly discussing the misprint on the card, I think this hand has garnered the most attention from the Facebook groups. Here's the issue. We have a set of pairs. This is in any like number. And basically, they took a Kong and broke it apart. So you have a set of pairs, and it has to be all three suits. The pairs have to match and have to be the same suit. So here's an example of how it can be done, and I'm using the number 7 instead of 1, which is okay. I've got the 4 flowers. I have a pair of 7 cracks, followed by a pong of 7 bams, followed by a pong of 7 dots, and then the final pair at the end of the hand. So remember, I could use jokers in parts of this, which I'll show you in a second. But I'm just showing you. These are pairs. Can't use a joker there. You can use it for the pongs, but not those pairs. Okay, now I'm showing you how to do this with jokers. I've added a joker in the Kong of flowers. That's perfectly fine. Then I have the pair of 7 cracks. Remember, you cannot put a joker there. And then with the pong of 7 bam, I've used 2 jokers. And with the pong of 7 dots, there's a joker in there. And then the pair on the end, again, no joker. Can never use a joker with a pair. However, if you are very, very close to Mah Jongg and you're missing a 7 crack, if it is the last tile you need, you can pick up the 7 crack to make the pair for Mah Jongg, but only for Mah Jongg. This next hand is in consecutive run, and it too is another doozy. So it starts off with a consecutive run. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And of course you can use any numbers, but one of the numbers in that grouping has to be a pair. And then the Kongs on the end have to match the number that you paired. So any 5 consecutive numbers, you pair any number in your run, and the Kongs at the end have to match the pair number. So here we go. Here's my example. I have it exactly with the numbers so that it would be easy for you. I have a pair of 1 cracks, 2 crack, 3 crack, 4 crack, 5 crack. That's great. I made the pairs of 1s, so my Kongs have to be 1s, but not matching suits. So those are in cracks. My first Kong is in dots, and my second Kong is in bams. Okay, we're going to check it out based on what it says in parentheses. Do we have any 5 consecutive numbers? Yes, we do. Did I pair any of those numbers in that run? Yes, I did. I paired the 1s. So now the Kongs that I make up have to also be 1s, but in different suits because they're printed in different colors on the card. Okay, here's another way of doing it. My consecutive run starts with a 4 bam. It's all bams. But this time I have paired the 6s. That means that my Kongs have to be 6s. And they have to be the other 2 suits, the dots and the cracks, because of the colors printed on the card. The first part's in green. That's 1 suit. The second part is in red. That's another suit. And the last part is in blue. That's the 3rd suit. And this is how you do it with jokers. That first consecutive run in green, those are actually considered singles, except for the pairs. So no, you cannot put jokers in there at all. You can pick them up as your final tile, but no jokers there. Then I did a Kong of 6 dots and I stuck a joker in there, that's fine. And I stuck 2 jokers in with the cracks. That's fine as well. So I'm showing you here, for example, if all you need for Mah Jongg is a 4 bam and somebody discards it, then yes, you can pick it up for Mah Jongg. Separate category of addition hands has disappeared from the card, and now the addition hands are just sort of dispersed throughout all of the hands. This one appears in 1, 3, 5, 7, 9s, and you have to use these numbers. We're looking for a Kong of flowers, a Kong of 1s and 9s, the same suit because it's printed in the same color, and the 10, basically the 1 is a different suit. The 0 is always the soap or the white dragon, and when it's used as a 0, it's like a neutral suit. It doesn't count. So we're looking for any 2 suits and these numbers only. So here we go. We've got a Kong of flowers. I did it in dots, so I did 1 dot plus 9 dots equals a number from another suit and a soap. You could also do this and use a bam because it's different from the dots. Okay, so we have any 2 suits. We have dots, that's 1 suit. A bam is another suit. And the 0 is always the white dragon or And here's how you do it with jokers. I've got a Kong of flowers, which, yes, I could put a joker there, or 2, or 3, or all 4 of them. I have 1 cracks, and I've added a joker in there just to show you that you can, and you can use up to 4, again with the 9s. Because remember, you can use a joker for tiles that match each other, but you have to have 3, 4, or 5. And I'm showing you here on the end, you cannot use a joker there. Those are considered single tiles, and you can't use a joker there. However, if you have your entire hand, and all you need for Mah Jongg is a soap or a white dragon, or the 1 dot, then yes, as the very last tile, you can pick it up for Mah Jongg. Okay, bear with me. We just have a couple of more hands to do. And we are in the Winds and Dragons. This is completely new this year. If you're doing a north and south with like numbers, the north and south can only be used with odd numbers, meaning 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. Any odd number with north and south. The way I've remembered it is the second letter in north is an O, and odd starts with an O. And then if you do east and west, they have to be even numbers. So my best way to remember that is east begins phonetically with a long E sound, just like the word even. So that's easy for me to remember. This is one way to do it. I've got the 4 norths and the 4 souths, and I'm doing it with 1s, even though it could be any odd number. I have 1 dot, a pair of 1 cracks, and a pung of 1 bams, and then the 4 souths. Next, I'm going to show you how to do it with another odd number. Remember, the odd numbers are 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Here I've got 4 norths, a 7 crack, a pair of 7 dots, and then a pung of 7 bams, and then the 4 souths. Now I'm using jokers to show you where you can use a joker. You can use it with the norths or the souths because that's 4 of the same tile. You can also use it within the 7 bams because that's 3 of the same tile, but you can never use it as a single or in part of the pair. So you can never use it for that 7 crack or for one or both of the 7 dots. Cannot do it. Now I'm reminding you here, if all you need for Mah Jongg is that one single tile, then yes, you can pick it up. Or if all you need for Mah Jongg is one of a pair, then yes, you can pick that up at the very end when you declare Mah Jongg. The last hand that we're going to look at in this video is the easts and wests, and we've got a Kong of easts, a single tile followed by a pair in another suit, and a Pong in the third suit, and then the wests at the end. Now for easts and wests, remember, you have to only use even numbers. Those would be 2, 4, 6, or 8. In this first example, I'm using 2s, and I have a 2 crack, a pair of 2 dots, a Pong of 2 bams, followed by the 4 wests. That is one way to do it. Here we are looking at using the number 6. Still have the 4 easts. I have a single 6 dot, followed by a pair of 6 bams, a Pong of 6 cracks, and the wests on the end. Yes, you can use jokers for this. You can use the jokers in the win tiles because there are 4 of them. You can also use it with the Pong because there are 3 of them, but you can't ever use them as a single tile or in the pairs. Cannot use jokers there. However, if you have your entire hand and all you need is the 6 dot, when somebody discards it, you can pick it up and declare Mah Jongg. Same goes for the pair. If you're only missing one of those 2, it can be called as the very last tile. You can't do that during the game. You can only do it at the end for Mah Jongg. I really hope you enjoyed going over a couple of the more challenging hands in the 2025 card. I'm working on another video talking about tips and strategies, so be sure and come back to see me. Thanks for watching.